We have the new ban list for Vanguard. If you still need anything Vanguard, you can go to 50cards.shop, use the link in the description, and use the code Solemn for a discount. I think Clan Collection is up right now, a really exciting set in my opinion. Usually they're a bit too weak, but this one might actually be a bit stronger than expected, so we'll see. So as for the ban list, there's two slides here. This is the first one. So we have Standard and V hits on here. For Standard, we have Restricted to 1, Dark Strain Dragon. So that's a slight hit to Bastion. Does it murder them? No. They can play this and they can also play the Order. Then you have 2 copies, or you can play 2 of the Order maybe even, and you have 3 copies. So they won't, die from this. This isn't the worst part. But then we have a choice restriction between Magnolia, Elder, and Inlet Pulse. And this is a really hard restriction for the deck. Magnolia was essentially able to abuse Flagberg support and get a billion card hand for free, thanks to Inlet Pulse. And so now that is gone. This is a pretty heavy hit. I would expect Magnolia to start falling down a bit. It won't be unplayable. It won't be bad. Of course, it will still be solid. I think it'll, hang around with the same level of power as maybe the grade 3 Bruise deck, maybe even Nirvana, somewhere around there, but no longer have that top spot. Overall, though, the D format was pretty diverse already in my opinion, so these hits, maybe they were kind of necessary, maybe Magnolia was a bit too strong, but overall, I don't think this was like a heavy, super required hit that the format would die, without them or something like that. Then we had V right here. Rosa is essentially banned. So finally, Prism was hit in a way that actually does something. Previous hit we saw to Prism did nothing. I got 2 first places this Springfest with my Prism Highlander. A bunch of other people got their first places with and second and third and so forth with Prism Highlander. We saw people playing Riviere Prism. We saw people playing just pure Prism and doing well. Prism was still the best deck essentially, and that got hit now finally after 2 years of Prism. Now one thing you might notice on here is that we don't see Gurgit. And Gurgit and Prism were kind of, around the same level. Maybe Prism was slightly better, okay. And now you just have Gurgit. So I don't know if this hit was enough. I think we basically had like Fish Hell and now we're gonna get Night Hell. I don't know if you prefer that flavor of hell. Let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, I don't know if this hit for V is enough. We'll see. Maybe we also get a ban list before BCS even. Because if it's like per quarter, then this is like second quarter hit, and maybe the third quarter hit would be September, which would be right before BCS. Personally, I'm very hopeful for that. Not just for V, but also for Premium, because we're going to go to Premium right now, and those hits are awful. We have a choice restriction for Pale Moon, Nightmare Doll specifically actually, between Masquerade Master Harry and Nightmare Doll Alice. This does nothing. Masquerade Master Harry in the deck, there's a few plays. Maybe if you play 200 games of testing, maybe 2 games, Harry might have come up as an actual card. But beyond that, this card is never used. It is there as flip fodder and to not lose to Link Joker as easily. Straight up, you only use this to unlock your board and bash Link Joker's skull in. Link Joker, they already don't have a hard enough time. Now the best deck also had to have like an in-engine counter to them. Great. That's now gone. Does this mean Link Joker is now in the meta? Hell no. That deck is still not very good. All you did was change Pale Moon's flip fodder. This does nothing. I don't know what the idea was behind this hit, personally. Like, I think if you test Premium and you test Nightmare Dolls, or you just literally look at footage from Nightmare Doll being played this Springfest, you will see this card is never on the Vanguard circle. It's just being flipped. You could replace this with Chi Guardians or other niche strides that you never stride into. If you had restricted Alice with the Premium Collection 2019 stride, it would be somewhat understandable. That would be a hit that would be a solid slap on the wrist overall. But this? No, just no. Nightmare Dolls doesn't change whatsoever here. That's it. This choice restriction does nothing. I don't know whose idea it was. Like, if you test this deck, there's so many things you could do. Ginny would not kill the deck. You hit Ginny and they'll just play something else like Periton or Purple Trapezist or something, but at least the deck would be slightly more fair. But they don't do that. You could hit Leslie to really hurt the deck, but they don't do that. You could do the choice restrict with a stride. If you really wanted to choice restrict with a stride, you could do it with Yvette, or you could do it with a 2019 Premium Collection stride, or you could do it with Dust. best, but they don't do that either. This choice restrict just does nothing. If you made up every choice restriction possible for Pale Moon and you put it on a dartboard right here and you threw a dart, you have a 99% chance of actually doing something to Nightmare Dolls. But magically, we threw the dart on the 1% where it does nothing, and that's this hit. Next, we have restricted to 1 a Ruination. Okay, it's funny how it's restricted to 1 Mega Colony. Does that mean it's restricted to 1 in specifically Mega Colony? Or do they now consider this card a Mega Colony card? That's really funny to me. I don't actually know about the specifics, but regardless, this basically kills Order Colony. The idea Order Colony is dead. Anyone saying, oh, I'll just run grade 3 searchers or something, you're missing the point. You're no longer Persona riding, and without Persona ride, you lose all of your backup. So even if you magically drew your one-off every game, it would still not be enough. The deck would still be bad. So basically, give up on Order Colony, that's done. Does that mean Mega Colony is done? It'll be worse for sure. I saw some people on Vanguardians going, oh, Flagberg will then be the next thing. And that's true. Flagberg would probably be the next best thing. But the next best thing is still much, much worse than Ruination was. Ruination was a draw 3 with 1 front trigger, and then once you Persona rode, it was a draw 4 double front trigger. That impact is disgusting when combined with the Gradora Stride. However, if you lose all that and instead you just gain multi-attack, sure, the multi-attack will be scary, but you're really no longer having the hand to sustain through strong decks. And so for that reason, I do not think this deck will be nearly as impactful anymore as it was in this Springfest season. So is this a good hit? Yeah, in my opinion, it is. You know, I know a lot of people were asking to ban the Gradora Stride or something like that. To me, that's not necessary. I think this already fixes the issue. Will Mega Colony still be playable with Flagberg? Probably, but who cares? It's fine if things are playable. It's not fine when things are unfair and bullshit. And I think Gradora by itself without the draw 4 and double front trigger is probably fair enough. So that's a solid hit. You know, it's not the one I was thinking of. I was thinking of a choice restrict between Ruination and Gradora, but this limited to 1 does the same thing. That's a good hit. Well done. The Nightmare Doll one, again, dartboard, 1% to mess it up, and boom, you got that 1%. This does nothing. I'm really hopeful that we get a ban list before BCS season. Worst case, it's an emergency ban list. I don't care. However, there is one more thing that's missing on this. Yes, it's copium time. Over triggers. They should be gone. I don't care what you say. Look, if you want standard to be flip the over trigger, I'm so good at the game. If you want that, go ahead. You know, make that the more casual format. I really don't care. But for them to, you know, 1 every so many games just ruin premium fucking sucks ass. Can you play around it? Sometimes, but not all the time. And the times where that comes up is just the worst, feels bad ever. Premium overall without them is like the most competitive form of Vanguard you can imagine. Lots of depth, lots of interaction, and that over trigger just completely ruins that. Every single player ever wants that gone. Every single player who wants to, you know, play competitively. So I think those cries have become loud enough and we've had to deal with this bullshit long enough that it's really time for them to go, specifically from premium. I know it won't happen in standard. Funnily enough, even Japan is starting to hate them. Do you know how hard it is for Japan to hate something? Even they are asking, please, get fucking rid of them. Not everyone, of course. You know, I'm not speaking for all people in Japan, obviously. I'm seeing a lot of rhetoric around that. Even players in Japan are looking to get rid of that piece of crap. So just do it already. We have a different ban list anyway. So get us a ban list in September. I don't care if it's an emergency ban list. Nuke Nightmare Dolls properly. I don't care that it's a tap on the wrist, again, like the Ginny hit or like a choice restrict with something else, but just not this. Anything but this. And get that over trigger out of here. Of course, there's some other cards that would be cool to be banned, you know, ban Navigator or something like that. Maybe even ban Stunverse. I would also be very open to that. I think it's time. But those are not as important as getting those OTs out of here. Maybe yeet Akari even, I don't know, or put it to 1. But these at least are very, very crucial. Hope you found this interesting. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Ciao.